Skinny Hardaway 7T. Back with another EP. And today we here with the fight breakdown between Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. We all start off Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson fight week a little different. You know what I mean? I want to do, a little open panel, with this one. And again, I'm gonna bring my camera in just a minute. I'm finna roll up. I'm about to roll up. We finna get with it. This is why I came on this joint early. That's the exact reason I came on this joint early, because I'm gonna be here for a second. I know my guy, Dwayne Freeman, go live. So I got an hour and a half with y'all. So I'm kicking it right now. But this is the the main event fight this weekend. This is the main event fight this weekend. Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson undefeated. Oscar Valdez undefeated. You know what I mean? This is a battle of the undefeateds. And somebody must go. April has been, a beautiful month of fight. A beautiful month of fight. We got Sebastian Fundora and Erickson Lubin. And we got Errol Spence Jr. versus Jordanis Ugas. And now we're about to close it out with Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson and Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. You know what I mean? We're about to close it out with that one. I mean, it really don't. What I can't think of in recent history, right? I can't think of in recent history one month of fights that we got that could top this month of April, that we just had, that we having now. Be real with you. I couldn't in recent times, like just in 1 month by itself, not a year of fights. I really feel like, after this weekend, you add these 2 fights in, actually these 3 fights, because I'm doing Franchon Cruz and Cedrus Discredit. We got 2 undisputeds this weekend. We got a unification, this weekend. We had Errol Spence Jr. versus Jordanis Ugas last week. In the open of the month, we had Fundora versus Erickson Lubin. This month of April, we've been blessed with, with some banger, fights. And I gotta say, what better way to close it out than, with a fight of this magnitude? A fight that we didn't really think, we was gonna get, but I'm glad, that we got it. A fight I didn't think we was gonna get, but I'm glad that we got it. You know what I mean? Oscar Valdez, Shakur Stevenson said Oscar Valdez looked kind of hesitant, to take this fight. He said he don't believe that Oscar Valdez, wanted this fight. I agree with Shakur Stevenson. I don't think this is the fight that Oscar Valdez wanted. If I'm not mistaken, they were, about to fight Navarrete. If I ain't mistaken, they were about to fight Navarrete with Oscar Valdez, and then all of a sudden, Bob Arum, ESPN, they hit us with the old Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. Now, me personally, I think it had a lot to do with. Turnsburg Crawford and their court case and all that, and the racial undertone that Turnsburg Crawford used in the case. You know what I mean? So I think they kind of forced Bob Arum's hand a little bit, and getting right, around the board, with the other fighters, because Shakur Stevenson himself at one point had said something like he felt that Bob Arum was keeping him away from Oscar Valdez. He said he felt like that himself, and this was like last year. You know what I mean? This wasn't this year. This was like last year when he said this, Shakur Stevenson. So I think the pressure kind of is on, Bob Arum. So Bob Arum made with my bad. I just turned the ass on y'all and bullshit. Shout out my boy, Just Do. Appreciate you sliding through this joint, Just Do. Glad you can make it, pimp. Yeah. But y'all want to talk about this, a little bit. This is an open panel. We go get into the fight breakdown and prediction. Sheldon, what's good, Sheldon? Say salute to you, bro. Oscar has a big problem. Come share. That was good, Sheldon. Appreciate y'all sliding through this joint. Y'all hit that like button for you. Boy, I'm about to bring my camera up in a minute. We about to roll up. I'm still getting this thing sure. Y'all told y'all I'm unprepared, but I'm making it do what it do. Why I make it do what it do. You know what I mean? So we gonna make it do what it do while we getting on raw. I really do got a lot to say about this, which is why I could make this open panel, which is why I could cook on this one. You know what I mean? But I feel like we got this fight, because no matter how we got it, you know what I mean? I feel like it kind of was forced upon us. It's crazy in this day and time of boxing, we got to get a lot of these fights forced upon us. But that's a whole different certainty. But I ain't gonna complain. We got the fight how we got it. You know what I mean? Saturday, the field that I get around this fight, I feel like this fight, should be bigger. I felt like Shakur Stevenson last fight versus Jamel Herring, should have been bigger. I feel like it should feel bigger. But the thing that I like about this fight, that it is a free TV fight. You know what I mean? So it will get a lot of eyes on it. A lot of people watch ESPN, whether we like it or dislike it. ESPN is the headquarters of sports, you know what I mean? So when fights come on ESPN, you get a lot of casuals. You get a lot of regular people, who wouldn't normally watch boxing, to watch boxing, which is why I think it's really strange that if you go to Top Rank and you still, can't sell or you still can't get, popular, then there is a problem. They either mean that you doing something wrong, or they mean, that your promoter is doing something wrong when you can go up on Top Rank. But I think in Shakur case, it was the lack of fights that he was getting, which is what Shakur Stevenson had said, a few years back. He said, I feel like Bob, my bad, Dwayne. He said, I feel like Bob Arum I feel like Bob Arum, kind of be moving fighters a certain way. You know what I mean? So we got this fight how we got it, you know what I mean, type deal. I kind of feel like hold on, let me get the records and shit up here. What's good, Dwayne? You got something you want to say on that jump real quick while I get that shit up here? Let me get that shit.
I mean, I'm glad the fight is finally made. We've been waiting for this fight for a while. I mean, we all know Shakur been calling out Oscar Valdez since he was at 126. And for whatever reason, they failed to make that fight happen at 126. And they wasn't trying to make it happen at 130. But I believe because of the whole Buzz situation in the lawsuit, and ESPN didn't want to be pulled into that lawsuit and have a bad look on ESPN, they forced the hand of Bob Arum to make this fight happen. And so we finally getting it. And like I said, I'm pulling for Shakur Stevenson. I believe he's a better talent than Oscar Valdez, and I believe Bob Arum knows that. That's the reason why he tried to hold off so long with this fight, because he didn't want to mess up that money that he was getting from the Mexican fan base, because we all know he tries to keep the Mexican fan base money coming in, and that's why a lot of those Mexican fighters, we don't see that signed up with Top Rank. We don't see them fighting the people that we want them to fight, because Bob Arum want to keep that money coming in from the Mexican fan base.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's asking about it. Look nervous to me. Yeah, I think Shakur. I think this the fight that's gonna take. What I was saying. I think this the fight that's gonna take Shakur Stevenson, to the next level. This fight with Oscar Valdez, because Oscar Valdez has, a big fan base. Shakur has, a growing fan base. Shakur is one of those guys in America. He's what you call a young American, prospect. You know what I mean? So you got a guy who is, established in Oscar Valdez. And again, like D Free said, we could have had this fight years ago. Probably should have had this fight, years ago at different divisions, whatnot. But, we finally here now. But we got a young up and coming prospect, and we got a guy, who's coming off the two biggest wins, right, of his career. When you factor in, the Burchell win and that Oscar, and then that Robson Sinkow win, although very controversial, it is one of the biggest wins of his career. That win got him, a statue, and all that good shit. So he's coming off he's coming off a good win, which I think is kind of controversial in itself because he popped dirty for PEDs in the fight with Robson, in which a lot of people feel like that he lost still. He popped dirty in that fight for Robson type deal, but he got the W. And we got him going up against Shakur Stevenson, who's coming off the biggest fight in his career versus Jamel Herring. He actually stopped Jamel Herring in his last fight to gain his second belt in his first belt in his second division. And now him and Valdez have come together for this unification fight. Finally, you know what I mean? And this should be one of the biggest fights of the year, right? But I don't think it really feels like that around. I don't think the feeling around that is that, one, because it was so sudden when we got it, and two, because I don't think it's been necessarily promoted, right. But I will say this: Bob Arum did make an effort to promote Shakur more, since that Bud Crawford lawsuit and everything. DP, anything you want to say before I get into the breakdown and shit?
Nah, you right, bro. I was just listening, man. You absolutely right. I think that's the main sole purpose why we got this fight is because of the Bud Crawford lawsuit.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I'm about to bring my screen up so we can get into the breakdown, and prediction.
Hey, but you know what, T? Also with that, real quick, man. I wonder if Shakur gonna try to go for undisputed
at 130.
Yeah.
I think he is. I think that's the plan.
Right.
I think that is the plan. Especially, I think that always been his plan. Especially since he got somebody else in house with him now at 135. Bob might not want to even have it go down, or maybe Bob is setting up that fight. Who knows what's really going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But I do think I heard him say one of his goals at 130 is to win, undisputed. What's good? Shout out to my guy, Just Do Boxing. Appreciate you sliding through this joint. Just Do. Glad you can make it. Shout out to my guy, Just Do Boxing.
Now, can you also see him moving up?
Pink Fury Goddess and Mo Cheeks. Appreciate y'all sliding through this joint. What'd you say, DP?
No, I'm saying, can you also see him moving up after this fight?
Shakur?
Yeah.
Moving up after this fight?
Yeah.
Immediately after this fight would be that'll be a surprise because he'll have two belts. You know what I mean? So he'll be what? Who got the belt? Who got the other belt at 130?
Warranty? Yeah. You said it this morning. I forgot the guy's name though.
Warrington or something like that. Warrington at 120. Now Warrington at 130, ain't it?
I think so, but then the other guy's I forgot his name.
It is Warrington. Josh Warrington just got his belt back. It was remember he knocked out Kid Gallahan, and then Josh Warrington just beat Kiko Martinez for the strap. So he'll only be 2 fights away. So if he move up, it'll be a surprise unless he solely got his mind set at undisputed like 135. In which that case, that means he'll be fighting Devin Haney. You know what I mean? In that case, he'll be fighting Devin Haney. Which with them being, both at top rank, who knows? Shit, Devin Haney on the 2 fight, I'm on the 3 fight. They'll rematch, one more fight. Could it be Lomachenko? Shit, Shakur Stevenson over there. I guess we'll know if he move up. You know what I mean? Type deal.
That's true.
Or will not. But I will be surprised if he moved up, with him being, only a couple more fights away from undisputed. I know, let's say it's hard for you to make the weight right, but shit, with you being like right at the door, why not go ahead, try to get that undisputed, then move up type deal. Who knows? By the time Devin finishes his 2 fights and you get 2 straps, both of y'all might be undisputed. So that fight might be, a Bud Crawford, Earl Spence Jr., you know what I mean, early in the prime of your career. We might get 2-3 of them fights. Shakur versus, David Haney. If, let's say Shakur stayed in his division and David Haney beat Kambosos, rematch Kambosos, and then, who knows what could happen after that. Who knows that he might fight Lomachenko and Bob might bring him back to fight Shakur too to get his shit back. You know what I mean? So we just never know what could, come from shit like that. But,
That's true. That's a good point, bro.
I mean,
Right.
I don't think he should be in the rush to move up unless he just, can't make the weight. If that's the issue.
Right.
Then I think he should move on. I'm trying to show this John on the gram. He ain't let me be great. But I'm finna sit the fuck down, bring my camera up and roll my blunt. Fuck that shit. I'm just gonna rock out.
Yeah.
Salute to the chat.
I feel
Pink Fury got us.
Ain't let me be great, man. My bad.
I got my day off too, baby.
Ain't let me be great, man.
What's up, D3?
What's going on, man?
What's good, man? But hey, yeah, let me get this shit going. Let me so y'all can see the screen sheet. About to get into today breakdown, and then we could shoot the shit. Then we could shoot the shit on. Get Shakur, his week. Hey, I was saying,
how much?
What you say?
Now, how much we betting, bro? So I can get my money right.
Okay, hold on. I ain't did it yet because the undercards fighters ain't came up with it yet. You know what I mean? But
okay.
I'm gonna let you know. We got Oscar Valdez 30-0, no draws, 23 KOs, 31 years old. He stands 5'5" with a 66-inch arm reach. His last fight was against Robson Cohen-Sinkow, unanimous decision, 17-10, 15-12, and 15-12. That fight was wildly controversial. If you saw that fight, the fight against Robson Cohen-Sinkow, a lot of people feel like Robson Cohen-Sinkow beat Oscar Valdez. I'm one of those people. Somewhere along the line, I kind of want Robson Cohen-Sinkow to fight Shakur Stevenson, but I wish, it would be, for a strap. So hopefully Robson can get his hands on one of them straps, and we could get, Shakur versus Robson, for a strap. He got a knockout victory over Miguel Burchell as well. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like, that Junt got a little asterisk bad too as well. Given that he got caught for PEDs in this fight with Robson Cohen-Sinkow, and they allowed him to continue fighting. But they just me. Oscar Valdez 30-0, 23 knockouts, no losses. He's fighting Shakur Stevenson, who's 17-0, no losses, no draws, with 9 knockouts. He's 24 years old. So Oscar Valdez is he's 7 years his senior. Is Oscar Valdez. Shakur is 5'7" with a 68-inch arm reach. So he has 2 inches on Oscar Valdez, and he has 3 inches of reach. My dog just hopped on this couch like I ain't sitting right here. And he has 3 inches of reach on Oscar Valdez. God damn, he got 3 inches of reach on Oscar Valdez. This is
damn.
His last victory is over Jamel Herring. You know what I mean? He beat Jamel Herring, who was 23-2 at the time. Jamel Herring was the Jamel Herring is a two-weight champ. Jamel Herring is a two-weight champ. I'll show. Jamel Herring is a two-weight champ. He had the WBO belt at the 130-pound division. He also beat Jeremiah Nakatila. Nakatila just knocked out Miguel Burchell in the fight at 135. In his last fight, the Jeremiah Nakatila, he beat Miguel Burchell also. So you got Shakur Stevenson's former opponent knocking out Oscar Valdez's former opponent, and now you got Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez, facing off. He also fought, Con Clary, if you know him, Jose Gonzalez. You might have seen him, a few times. Christopher Diaz, I know you've seen him, a few times. So, he got a couple of, namesakes on that joint. Shakur Stevenson, 17-0. I think Shakur Stevenson is one of the best, I think Shakur Stevenson is one of the best, boxers, of this time right now, like best pure boxers of this time right now. I got him. He's on my pound for pound list after his win over, Jamel Herring. Not top 5, but he is on my pound for pound list. Is Shakur Stevenson. Oscar Valdez after the Burchell win, I was high on Oscar Valdez. I was highly impressed by that. I had him to lose to Burchell, and he actually ended up beating Miguel Burchell, which I didn't think he would be able to do. You know what I mean? Just being real true. So I give him full credit. For that. But then, he fought Robson Cohen Sinkow, and the PED thing happened. And then that kind of, brought up, that kind of made me question, his win. Oh, my bad, DP. That kind of made me question, his win, over Miguel Burchell, because he looked terrible against Robson Cohen Sinkow. And he actually failed the test. He actually failed the drug test against Robson Cohen Sinkow, as well. And he was still, allowed to fight, which, is crazy to me. You know what I mean? But he failed that test. You know what I mean? And he won the fight, on paper. But if you watch that fight, and I think most people who watch that fight don't feel like, that Oscar Valdez was seen victorious in that fight. And it got even more crazy because Oscar Valdez got presented a statue like 2 days later in his country. Y'all know how long it take to build a statue? That man already had that statue built. So the fact that it kind of looked crazy that he lost that fight, but he was still given the victory, and then you bust out a statue in less than 48 hours. Y'all bust out a statue. You know what I mean? So with all that going on, we got the Bob Arum and Terrence Crawford case. This fight wasn't even, in the talks. This fight wasn't even in the mix, or nothing like that. The first shot of my girl, Pink Fury. She said Oscar Valdez is very tough. He's going to try very hard, and he will need everything in his tank. But I feel he will be mentally drained with no answer. He won't be able to do anything. Shout out to my girl, Pink Fury. Got it. Let me rinse you up, Pink Fury. Let me go to that joint. Hold on, wait, I gotta do it from here. I could do it like that. But yeah. So yeah, this fight with Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson, this was a fight that we wasn't necessarily, expecting to get. You know what I mean? Because we know Bob Arum and Shakur Stevenson said that this ain't something that I said. Shakur Stevenson came out and said that he feel like Bob Arum, don't know how to promote black fighters, and that that Bob Arum ain't giving him the fights that he feel will help advance his career. And then boom, out of nowhere, Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. So as I stated earlier, Shakur Stevenson is the better boxer, in this fight. I feel like Oscar Valdez does possess some boxing skills. That man can box. Oscar Valdez, I ain't gonna hold him. But in the fight that I saw against Robson Cohen Sinkow, you could time. Could y'all do your boy a favor? Y'all hit that like button. Y'all roll in for your boy. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Y'all jab that like button for your boy. If you saw the fight with Robson Cohen Sinkow, you could tell I noticed that you could time Oscar Valdez. You know what I mean? I don't even think it was a thing where Robson Cohen Sinkow was just so much faster than Oscar Valdez, rather than more so than it being Robson Cohen Sinkow just had better timing that fight versus Oscar Valdez. Because if you rewind to the fight with Miguel Burchell, Oscar Valdez looked plenty fast. You know what I mean? He looked plenty fast in that fight. And if you go to a couple of fights, before that, Oscar Valdez also looked fast in those fights. So Oscar Valdez, doesn't have, slow hands or nothing like that. But I just think Robson Cohen Sinkow was able. I think he was a better boxer, with a higher IQ, and he was able to time Oscar Valdez. I also feel like in that fight, something that I saw is that if Robson Cohen Sinkow, had, let's say, the power of a guy like maybe Shakur Stevenson, and he hit him with, a couple of those shots, he would have been able to, stop, Oscar Valdez, or, at least hurt him, drop him to the point where, at least TKO stoppage, if not a flash knockdown with as much as Robson Cohen got landed on Oscar Valdez. If he had any more power than he had, or if he had like Shakur level power, I think maybe he would have been able to hurt Oscar Valdez and possibly stop him. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson in this fight, he has all the tools to stop Oscar Valdez. You know what I mean? I think for certain fighters, you could look at certain fighters you can look at and you just could tell that that they a different kind of fighter, that they're a special kind of fighter. I think Shakur Stevenson is one of these kind of fighters. And the fact that I already seen, goddamn, the fact that I already seen, Robson Cohen who I think is a good boxer, right? Top level boxer, right? But I don't think he's as good a boxer as, Shakur Stevenson, right? So I've already seen the guy in Robson Cohen outbox you. You know what I mean? And he did it pretty convincingly. You know what I mean? What's good there, Adams? Appreciate you sliding through this junk there. And he did it pretty convincingly. You know what I mean? He did Robson Cohen did it pretty convincingly. So I already seen you be outboxed before. And Shakur is a boxer. So I think this style matchup is all bad for Oscar Valdez. I got Shakur Stevenson, by unanimous decision. I almost got it being a wash. I could see if Oscar Valdez is a fighter, who likes to, press the action. He likes to, he's trying to get you out of there. 30 wins, 23 losses. Understand this guy is not coming in there, to go 12 rounds. He's not coming in there to go the distance. That's just not the way that he fights. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's going to get him in trouble in this fight versus Shakur Stevenson. I think if he come in there, which he is, because that's just how he fights. Now, he could come in there, he could try to box, he could stay away, and I think he going to get beat up, either way. That would be right into Shakur, Stevenson's game plan. I think if he really wants to win this fight, then he has to, press forward on this fight and take Shakur to a place that he's never been. You know what I mean? That's how I could see Oscar Valdez winning this fight. Oscar Valdez has shown us to have a chin. So I don't see Shakur Stevenson, knocking out Oscar Valdez like, with one punch. You know what I mean? Clean knockout or nothing like that. But there is a scenario where I could see, Shakur Stevenson, his volume and his accuracy being a problem for Oscar Valdez and making Oscar Valdez uncomfortable and fighting a fight that, Oscar Valdez really don't, want to fight. Like my girl Pink said, he could frustrate Oscar Valdez. He could frustrate Oscar Valdez to the point where Oscar Valdez, can't do nothing. My girl said, I personally see Oscar Valdez quitting on his stool or the fight being stopped on cut. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think facts. I think Shakur Stevenson he does have the ability to stop Oscar Valdez, especially with the way Oscar Valdez, likes to fight. He really only fights one way that's coming forward, and he's trying to put you out of there, himself. Again, like I said, if Robson Cohen had, power like a guy like Shakur, I think he would have been able to stop Oscar Valdez, not by, KO with one punch or nothing like that. But I think over time, he could generate enough damage. I think over time, he could maybe drop Oscar Valdez enough times to where, the ref may stop it, or it may go to, like my girl Pink said, a cut stoppage, a damage stoppage or something like that. The safe bet in this fight would be, Shakur Stevenson unanimous decision. I think Shakur Stevenson gonna go out here and he gonna style on Oscar Valdez, for the most part. But there is and I'm like 50-50 on if I believe Shakur Stevenson could stop Oscar Valdez, because in my mind I do see scenarios where Oscar Valdez could be TKO by Shakur Stevenson in this fight. But my prediction is going to be Shakur Stevenson by unanimous decision. I see his boxing ability, his hand speed, his defensive awareness, being a little too much for Oscar Valdez. And there's a scenario in here where I can see if Oscar Valdez, get too frustrated and he try to press the issue on Shakur Stevenson. I could see a scenario where Shakur Stevenson, stops Oscar Valdez. You know what I'm saying? Or I could see a point where the fight gets into the 11th round and Oscar Valdez is like, too cut up or, like too hurt to continue, kind of like an Earl Spencer Dance Ugas situation we had, the last week, something like that. Because that Shakur Stevenson doesn't have power thing, that shit is a myth. Shakur Stevenson most definitely does have power, and he has cutting power. You know what I mean? If you're there to be hit, he will hit you. I saw Oscar Valdez, get his face touched up by Robson, and that's a bad look when you fighting a guy like Shakur Stevenson. But you got some shit on the D Free, and I'm finna drop the link for y'all if y'all got some shit that y'all want to say on it, y'all want to speak on it. Cause this is an open panel jump. We gonna do this about another hour or so, like that. I think D Free stepped away. Let me get in the chat for a second. Adam said, brilliant fight. I can't wait. He said, this is definitely a 50-50. I can see both sides of the win. Okay, I got that. What Pink said. She said, okay, bet I got that. Okay, bet. But yeah, I see Shakur Stevenson. I see him. I'm gonna go with Shakur Stevenson versus UD. I'm gonna be safe about it. I'm gonna be safe, but I'm gonna say Shakur Stevenson UD. But I think it's gonna be an exciting fight. Either way. Either Valdez has the power, Shakur has the speed. It's going to be a war. You know what I mean? Yep. And I think more so than speed. It's not just speed. You know what I mean? Because it's not just power. I don't think it's dead. Cut and dry. Because Shakur Stevenson has power and Oscar Valdez has speed as well. I think it's gonna come down to a timing thing, and I think it's gonna come down to the jab of Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? I think Oscar Valdez is coming in 2 inches shorter, and he has 3 inches, shorter reach. I think he's going to have to get inside on Shakur Stevenson, and I think that's where problems are going to be presented, for Oscar Valdez. But yeah, I think he's gonna have to get inside on Shakur, and I think that's where the most problems gonna come in, for Oscar Valdez, because Oscar Valdez has excellent defense, and I don't really see Oscar Valdez being able to make Shakur do anything that Shakur Stevenson don't want to do in that job. I think it's gonna be a highly, highly entertaining fight. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the times, sometimes, we get competitive fights confused with close fights. This fight, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a close fight. What's good, A1? Appreciate you sliding through this, John, A1. And y'all feel free to click that link. This is an open panel. This is an open panel, John. Y'all feel free to click that link. I think this going to come down. To a boxing match, because I think Shakur Stevenson wants it to be that. And I think in that Jamil Herring fight, Shakur Stevenson showed me, enough in that fight that if you stand in front of him, he does have the ability, to stop you. And if you really dissecting, my guy, shout out my guy Lucha Chi.
I'm back.
Okay, baby. I don't know if this is your first time, but don't make it your last time. If you could, like the video and subscribe to the channel, greatly appreciate it. I don't think this fight just is simply power and speed, because again, Valdez got speed too, and Shakur got power too. I think it's gonna come down to timing in this fight. I think Shakur Stevenson has a higher boxing IQ than Oscar Valdez. You know what I mean? Robson Korn-Sinkow was able to outbox Oscar Valdez, so I've seen him outbox before. And Shakur Stevenson got more power than Robson, and I think he's a better boxer. But how you feel about it, D-Free? Who you got? How you see it going? What's your prediction, and your fight, John?
To go back on what you said, I agree exactly what you said. Oscar Valdez, he's a good fighter. He got nice, decent power, but I believe it's going to come down to Shakur Stevenson boxing IQ and his ring IQ. Um, Shakur Stevenson, you got to remember he's been in there. He's been sparring with people like Tank Davis, Devin Haney. He sparred with Terrence Crawford a lot. And he's been around a lot of great fighters, and so he picked up little bits and pieces from everybody. He told people that he picked up bits and pieces from everybody. He's been in there with Floyd Mayweather, and he saw how Floyd Mayweather
Y'all hit
trained
that
and
like
how
button.
Floyd
Y'all hit
Mayweather.
that like button. Y'all hit that like button for your boy. Y'all rolling. Don't be stingy with the like button. It's free.
Oscar
It's free. Hit
Valdez.
the like button for your
Oscar
boy.
Valdez been in there. I mean, he's been in there with Canelo and the people in his camp with Eddie Reynoso. So I mean, I'm not to take anything away from Eddie
Never
Reynoso
come
and
on.
Canelo and all of them, but those guys are not they're not traditional boxers. They are more fighters than they are boxers.
Yeah.
And it's going to come down to who has the better boxing skill and who can impose their will on the other opponent. And I just feel that because Shakur Stevenson is faster than Oscar Valdez and he has better defense than Oscar Valdez, he's going to frustrate Oscar Valdez because Oscar Valdez is going to try to hit Shakur, and Shakur is going to counter him with his defense and his hand speed, and it's going to cause Oscar Valdez to keep his hands in his pocket because after a while you keep getting countered and you keep getting hit. You're going to eventually stop throwing so many punches, and you're going to be on the defense while the other person's going to be on the offense, and that's going to allow Shakur Stevenson to be able to break him down and go to his body and beat him up because he's going to get tired of keep getting countered. And so I just feel like I said, I think Shakur Stevenson is going to stop him in the late rounds. It's probably going to be either round 10 or round 11. Shakur is going to end up stopping him, and I don't think it's going to be a straight up knockout. I think it might be from Oscar Valdez's corner or the doctor. They're going to end up stopping the fight.
Yeah. So so you got Shakur Stevenson by stoppage, or you going UD? I went UD. I went Shakur Stevenson UD. You going Shakur Stevenson by stoppage?
I mean, I see it could be a UD, but I also see it could be a stoppage because we all know that Oscar Valdez, he gets cut easy. And I think he might end up getting cut in this fight. And from the cut, they might end up stopping the fight because he's gonna take a beat. He's gonna take a beating because, like I said, Shakur defense is better than Oscar Valdez, and his hand speed is better than Oscar Valdez. So I think he's gonna take a beating, and they're gonna stop it due to a cut. But I could see it being a UD as well. I just think it's going to be a stoppage. I think he'll stop him.
So who y'all got in the chat? Y'all got Shakur Valdez. I think either way, no matter what guy win, I think this gonna be the best fight of the weekend. I told y'all and I hollered y'all about Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. That's gonna be the biggest fight this weekend, I think. But I think Amanda Serrano go get her. I think she go be able to land to clean the punch on, and I think she gonna put a hurt on. I don't think that fight gonna be necessarily close or competitive, to be real with you. I think it's gonna be big in that aspect, but I think Katie Taylor is tailor made for Amanda Serrano. With this fight, Valdez does pose some problems, but I think Shakur is next level right now, and I said it's gonna look like Diego Corrales versus Shakur Stevenson. I said Shakur Stevenson. I think it's gonna kind of look like Floyd Mayweather versus Diego Corrales in the sense like the boogeyman, and Valdez not seen as a boogeyman, but he's seen as a puncher. People respect his power. That's what the first thing people say when you talk about Valdez, his power, as you should, you know what I mean? So in that aspect, Corrales is seen as this power puncher, volume power puncher. Valdez is seen as this volume power puncher. You know what I mean?
And I see it panning out as Floyd Mayweather versus Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
I don't know why I see it that way. I just
talking about the actual fight. I'm talking about like, the build up, like around the machismo around both people. You know what I mean?
I think Oscar Valdez favored Miguel Cotto more than he favored Diego Corrales. To me,
you talking about the actual fight? I'm talking about the build up.
No, I'm talking about. Oh, you talking about the build up to it?
Yeah, like the build up around the fight, not the actual, fight in itself. You talking about the actual fight, like Cotto versus Flo. I'm talking about like the build up to it. Valdez, the big puncher.
I mean, I could see that. I could see that a little bit, but the only difference between Diego Corrales and Floyd Mayweather and Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson is Diego Corrales went after Floyd Mayweather. Oscar Valdez didn't go after Shakur Stevenson.
True that.
He was like, everybody was scared to fight Floyd. He was like, I get in there with Floyd.
That's a great
That's
point.
the only difference I see. But I understand what you're saying.
That's a great point. But yeah. But I mean, like, now that we got the fight, But you're right, though. Diego Corrales was a different beast. Oscar Valdez was seen like that, but it's like his energy was different for Shakur Stevenson. So I get what you
right.
I feel you going with that Corrales. Cursor, what's good, Cursor? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Cursor.
You
Phil.
would think that Oscar Valdez would go after Shakur Stevenson. Oscar Valdez was getting so much hype. You would think, okay, let me go get this man. Everybody think he's the goods or whatever. Let me go show him that he's not what everybody think he is. You would think that, but he didn't do that.
Yeah, so my guy D Free said he see it going like Floyd versus Cotto. I kind of see it looking like for one fight. I can't like the actual fight itself. I can see the fight looking like Diego Corrales, though. I can see him dropping Valdez a couple times. The referee stopping it. Did Floyd stop Cotto?
Yeah, Floyd stopped Cotto.
Stop Cotto?
Yeah, he stopped Cotto.
Yeah.
I think he stopped him in the 10th round, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like the 10th or 11th round, Floyd stopped him.
This fight
he got stopped by he got stopped by Floyd, and he got stopped by Manny Pacquiao. But Manny Pacquiao, I believe Manny Pacquiao, he said Manny Pacquiao hurt him. He said Floyd didn't really hurt him. I think he got cut, and they stopped it due to the cut.
When you get two fighters who want to fight, two fighters who will fight, Julio Guzman said Floyd did not stop Cotto. He's a hit, yeah. Y'all hit that like button for your boy when y'all roll on in. He said Floyd did not stop Cotto.
Well, he didn't stop him. I thought he did stop Cotto.
Yeah, Manny stopped.
I gotta go back and look at the fight. I thought he did stop him.
Okay.
I know Manny stopped him.
So
Manny stopped him.
Look, the crazy part is, and now he hurt Cotto. Yeah. Look, the crazy part is, Dwayne, you picked the fight right where you picked the stoppage right, and you picked the fight where it went 12. I picked UD, and I picked the fight where he stopped him. That's the crazy part. But in this fight, a stoppage can't happen though, bro. You know what I mean? I could see it happening.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can see a stoppage happening, but I can also see it going 12 rounds as well because Oscar Valdez doesn't stop a lot of people. He stopped majority of his people, of his fighters, but he hasn't stopped all of them. But majority of his fighters, he has stopped them. But I could see it going to a decision as well.
And that's what made me think it could be a stoppage because the way that Oscar fight, and Shakur don't mind, throwing punches. He don't mind hitting you with punches. So I think Oscar Valdez is going to be in front of him to be hit. I think Oscar Valdez is going to present himself, to be hit. Type deal.
Yeah.
I think the safe bet is Shakur UD. I picked Shakur UD, but I could see her stop it. You know what I mean? I think one thing I do want to see with Shakur, I see there. He said, T, my bet that I had Fury 7 round KO. My book is in the UK refund to anyone that had Fury around 6 or around 8. So happy days. For sure, there, Adam. I feel like The Valdez key success is to make it an ugly fight, rough him up. Yep. Them facts. But Shakur got a 3-inch reach on him. You know what I mean? I didn't know his reach was that big on Oscar Valdez. And I was saying with the way that Oscar Valdez fight, he's right there. You know, he's in front of you because he want to deliver his shit too. He want to get his shit off. His offense is his defense. Y'all know what I mean? And I think in a fight where your offense is your defense and Shakur, you know, offense and defense is so good and your offense is your defense, I think that's going to get him in a little trouble in this fight with Shakur.
Yeah. I knew Shakur had a bigger reach on him because Shakur is much taller than Oscar Valdez. I think Shakur is like 5'8".
3 inches though.
Yeah, I think Shakur is like 5'8", and Oscar Valdez is like 5'6",
5'7", and 5'5".
5'7". I know it was like 2 inches. I thought it was an inch taller for each one, but I knew it was like 2 inches.
Is that Valdez would want him to be a dog fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why I don't think it's gonna be like a knockout, like a flash knockout. It's gonna be like, if it's gonna be a stop, it's gonna be a TKO or a doctor stoppage, because I think over time Shakur gonna work on Oscar Valdez. You know, he gonna work him down type deal. I think that's what's gonna happen.
I think the fight gonna end up looking like Jamar Herring.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna end up looking like Jamar Herring. Well, Oscar Valdez, he's going to put up a good fight for like 6 rounds, and then it's going to eventually Shakur is just going to start teeing off on him, and then they're just going to end up stopping the fight. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to start teeing off on him, and they're going to see that Oscar Valdez has no chance of winning this fight, and they're going to end up stopping this fight.
Yeah. And then the misconception about Shakur Stevenson is that, you know, he's a mover and all that. He's not really a mover. He moves, you know, but for sure, there. Yeah, for sure. He's not really a mover. He moves like inside of the pocket. That's why I think we very well could get, you know, a KO in this jump, because I think he's not gonna necessarily be moving away from Oscar Valdez. I think he gonna be moving around him, you know, to get his shit off, because that's what Shakur do. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be something, you know, like that. That Shakur reminds me too much of Whitaker.
Of who?
Pernell. I think
he's nothing like Pernell. No, he's nothing like Pernell.
Only has a puncher's chance. Shakur will dominate this fight.
Y'all haven't seen Pernell in a long time, because Shakur is nothing like Pernell. Now he might have the power like Pernell, but he don't have the movement like Pernell. Pernell was a mover. He will make you look stupid in the ring. Shakur doesn't move that much. Shakur, he moves just enough for you to miss. He doesn't move a lot. Pernell moved around that ring a lot. He moved around the ring a lot and made you miss.
Yeah, that's the misconception of Shakur. He don't really move like that. He really trying to get his shit out. If you dare to be hit,
he just moves. He really just enough for you to miss.
Yeah, he really try to make you move off your spot. That's what Shakur do.
And another reason why Shakur moves like that, he doesn't move that much, is because he's usually bigger than the guys that he's fighting. So he has a longer arm reach. He doesn't have to move as much. He moves just enough for you to be out of range, but he's still in range.
Yep.
He doesn't move a lot.
And that's what I mean by, I think he go pick I think he go move around Valdez and he go pick him apart, which is why I could see a stoppage, but not like a knockout stoppage, TKO stoppage or a doctor stoppage like that. But I think Valdez, you know, he got a chin on him, he got a beard on him, so I think he go 12. Unless, you know, it ain't gonna be, if he get knocked out, it ain't gonna be because he went to sleep, because I do think he got a beard on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Oscar Valdez. Like I don't. That's what I said. I don't think it's going to be a knockout. I mean, if it is a knockout, it's a stoppage to the. It's a knockout to the body. It's not going to be to the chin because Oscar Valdez can take some punishment. I just think he's going to take so much punishment that either the doctor or the corner is going to stop it. But if it is a knockout,
Shakur make you
it's going to
miss
be to the body.
and Shakur make you miss too, but he make you miss like a different way. Pernell and Shakur both make you miss, but it's a different way that they go about it.
Pernell, when you swing at Pernell will move out the way where you swing it at nothing but air, and he's on the opposite side of you. With Shakur Stevenson, he'll just move his head a slight bit for you to miss that punch, and he can counter you. Mm-hmm. Shakur moves more like Andre Ward. He moves just enough for you to miss, but he still can counter you. He doesn't move completely out of range where he can't counter you back. He moves just enough for you to miss. But Pernell would sit there and he will pivot on you. You'll swing a punch, he'll pivot on you, and he'll be standing behind you while you swinging in front of you, and he'll be standing behind you. That's the difference. Like Pernell was a mover. Pernell was more like, what was that dude that Floyd fought that was similar to Pernell? Emmanuel Augustus. That's how Pernell was. Yeah, he was like Emmanuel Augustus. That's where Emmanuel Augustus got his style from, was from Pernell Whitaker. That's how Pernell Whitaker moved.
What is a better comparison? I digress. Yeah. Shakur step back gang. Yeah, he stepped back slightly. He throw his shit. The thing with Shakur is you will have to get inside on him type shit. You will have to get inside him, but you know, he gonna be making you pay while you get inside. It's gonna be good, man. I think it's gonna be entertaining. I say that. I think it's gonna be entertaining.
It's gonna be action packed. It's gonna be action packed because Oscar Valdez is gonna come in and try to knock Shakur Stevenson out. I know he is. He's gonna come in and try to knock him out.
I want to see where Shakur chin is. I want to see somebody touch him. At some point, I do.
I don't think you. I mean, I want to see his chin too, but we very seldom see Shakur get hit. He get hit a total of maybe like 5 times a round, and it's usually not to the face. It's usually to his body. He usually don't get hit in the face.
Yeah, but at some point, I do want to see his chin. The thing is gonna be, you know, if Valdez can catch him, because I know Valdez just seeing the way he trained, watching his videos and shit, seeing how he get down and shit. He going for power shot. He going for the knockout. You know, he going for the stoppage. You know what I mean? That's the way that he been training. You know what I mean? That's how that's what I've been seeing. You know what I mean?
Me personally, I believe that's the only way that he's going to beat Shakur is by knocking him out. I don't think he's going to beat Shakur going by points. I don't think he's going to beat Shakur going off the points. He's going to have to knock Shakur out because, like I said, he's not going to hit Shakur a whole bunch of times. So he's going to have to, whenever he does hit him, it's going to have to count because he's not going to get a lot of chances to hit Shakur.
Yo, Cuz.
What's going on?
What's good, man? What you got what you got on Shakur versus Valdez this weekend? What you got on?
Yeah, Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez fight, just like many others. I've been waiting for. Of course, like y'all been talking, there's some questions to be answered on both sides. For me, the question to be answered the most for the first time is Shakur Stevenson. It's because Oscar Valdez, he's a rugged dude. He could box and he like to mix it up. So his pressure would be different from everyone else's that Shakur had faced. Because of his IQ, everything, we broke Shakur down. It's going to be interesting. If Shakur can, I like to see him take a punch. I would like to see Valdez land a flush power shot because we never seen Shakur really get hit. So our big question, at least mine's, is does he really have a chin? and I heard a few people speak on it. And when he first spoke on it, I was like, you know what? That's one thing I can't say about the young man. I could say everything else about him. His office and his defense, but can he actually take a punch? Like we know he's a total package, but how sturdy is Shakur Stevenson? We see he's a strong body, but can he take punishment or take hard shots when somebody does hit him? Even though he doesn't get hit a lot, he's going to get hit at some time, and maybe this might be the fight to where we actually see him get tested against a guy who's packing some power. But I actually call winning the fight probably late stoppage, and that's on because of the fact I don't see him dropping Oscar Valdez, but I think because of the pressure that Valdez is going to bring, is going to make Shakur work all his tools, a little more. So, and Oscar, he swells up, he bleeds easy. That can work in Shakur Stevenson's favor because of the high rate punch placement he does have. So Shakur can land his shots and be able to take some. We see him take a shot. He's one of the very few guys left that we talk about with these young guys that we haven't really seen take a punch yet. We've seen Tank take some punches. We've seen Dev and a few other guys, but we haven't seen Shakur take a punch. But I can see him stopping him because if he gets to landing that sniper, he can cut and swell up Oscar Valdez. So I got Shakur by late stoppage. But if it goes to 12, I would still favor Shakur. I wouldn't be mad, but it's going to make for a more exciting and intriguing verdict to the fight. So I got Shakur, but let's see what happens.
Okay, so we all got Shakur Ninja, I think, pretty much. Well, since I got y'all here, who y'all got in Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano?
I'll go first. Easy for me. I like I'm taking Amanda Serrano. This gonna be a good fight too. Not trying to shit on Katie Taylor, but I'm saying if the facts that the opponent may be shitty, then that may be the point depending on who they are facing. Even though Katie Taylor, yeah, she could rumble or whatever, but we already know she hasn't fought off the best of the best. I think Amanda Serrano, a combination puncher and complete, ongoing pressure is going to be problem for Katie Taylor because she's not really that much of a defensive fighter. I can't even say if her defense is good. From what I've seen, it ain't hard to hit the chick. She can't fight on the back foot, so it's going to be interesting to see her what she's going to do when she has to be on a back foot. She's going to try to run away, lose balance, or she's going to try to, stand ground and try to these work some offense off her back foot going backwards, which I don't see that happening. So I got Amanda Serrano. Katie Taylor will have a couple good moments in the fight. I'm not going to say that it's going to be a wipeout. I mean, it can still be a wipeout, but I still see Katie Taylor getting a little something off. But is it going to be anything that we have to worry about? That part, I don't know, but I would lean towards no, because the way that Amanda Serrano is built. So you want to see, but I got Serrano. I don't know. I haven't really checked up on her energy to see what's the plan that she has, but she can stop her. She can stop her. So let's go with a I guess I'm gonna go with another stoppage. I might be wrong in one of these two predictions, but I see Amanda Serrano probably getting a late stoppage.
Yeah, I'm agree with Crush. I'm a pick Amanda Serrano. Um, Amanda Serrano is one of the few females that I've seen that changes levels like a guy. She likes to go up top and she also works the body. She doesn't just head hunt. And so I see Amanda Serrano just being too much of a master class boxer for Katie Taylor. Now Katie Taylor is not no bum and not no slouch. She's in the position that she's in for a reason. But I just think Amanda Serrano is going to be too much for her. and Amanda Serrano throws a lot of punches per round. I think she throws roughly about 60 or 70 punches per round. It might be more than that, but she throws a lot of punches per round, and I think it's just going to be too much for Katie Taylor, and she's going to end up wearing her down, and they might end up stopping it from a cut. I think they might stop it from a cut. She might knock her out, but I don't see a knockout. I see more of a stoppage. And it's going to be in the late rounds. I say probably be round 8, round 9. They probably won't stop the fight.
Yeah. So y'all got Amanda Serrano by KO.
Yep.
I can see that. I can see that KO. I got about stoppage too.
I gotta check the top ranked undercard and see who they got, man. So we finna run down that jump. But I most definitely got Amanda Serrano too. I got her by UD. And I got Shakur by UD. But we got the same people. We just different outcomes on that jump. But yeah. I think I gotta see who on that top rank card. Cause I know that the zone card pretty good. They got 2 undisputed. They got Franchon Cruz fighting Cindy Roos. I think she go beat her up. I think she go stop her. I call stoppage in that jump. Yeah, they got 2 undisputed on that jump. There's two of the 8 fights that I said I feel like that they need to give us. Yeah, they got a nice little jump. I'm finna check that top rank card, the undercard. They ain't came up on the betting sites yet, but I know they dropped them already. I know they got all the little prospects and shit, so I know they gonna have some kind of jumps. Cause I ain't checked them jumps out. Katie Taylor Serrano ESPN fight?
I think so.
Wow.
What was that?
That's an ESPN fight?
Which one? Amanda Serrano?
Uh-huh.
I'm not
It's
sure.
gonna show on the zone, but it's an ESPN fight.
I don't know if it's an ESPN fight. Amanda Serrano's not signed with ESPN. I was about to say Amanda Serrano's not signed with ESPN.
It's the zone. It's the zone.
Yeah, she signed with Jake Paul.
Yeah, it's the zone. Keyshawn Davis, Nico Ali Wash.
Oh shit, we gotta watch his ass again.
Yeah, Troy Isley.
Oh yeah, Troy Isley fighting. That's who I was talking about.
Anthony
That's
Cobb.
the guy at 154 I was talking about. Troy Isley.
Yeah. Anthony Cobb, Andre Cortez. And
I couldn't figure out who the fuck that guy. I couldn't figure out what his name was, but that's what I was talking about. Troy Isley, the last fight we saw, he was hitting that dude with all them goddamn punches.
Mo Williams fight Cordell Booker on the zone too. Oh,
Mo Williams fighting this weekend too?
Yo, he fight Cordell Booker, bro.
Oh shit.
Dog.
That's a good ass fight. That's a good ass fight right there.
Oh my lord.
That's a good ass fight.
Oh my lord.
Who's Nico Ali fighting?
Who knows? Let me see. Let me go back up to top now. He fights Alexandro Ibarra.
Unless this guy is a big puncher, he gonna win this fight. I was hoping he got in there with somebody that will give us some competition.
Keyshawn Davis, the co-main event,
man. Nico Wash fighting this weekend. I want to see this fight.
Damn, how the fuck is Keyshawn Davis co-main event? He only got 6 fights.
He's fighting the 6th round, the co-main event.
A six.
What the fuck?
Hey, he got the complexion. Y'all know what it is.
What the fuck? So that mean the ESPN card is gonna be quick as shit
I don't
because
fuck.
all those fights are low rounds except for the Oscar Valdez fight and Shakur Stevenson.
Four rounder, four
They,
rounder, four rounder, 8 rounder, 8 rounder, 4 rounder, 6 rounder.
Data, he only fighting 4 and
yeah.
6 rounders, yo.
Why
Six.
you wouldn't
Four
put an
rounder,
8 rounder
4 rounder.
as the co-main event instead of a 6 rounder,
That
or at least make his fight a 8 round fight?
exactly. He should be the first fight. Exactly. Yeah, that's
The
what we talking
Canelo card,
about.
Jagugaboo.
Let's look up,
That's stupid as shit. You ain't got no 10 round fights
Take
on the
it.
undercard, and you got the co-main event a 6 round fight. That's dumb as shit. That's dumb as shit. That's what time is that fight supposed to start? That card supposed to start?
That party don't even say. Oh, let me
If
see.
that shit start at 7 o'clock, it's gonna be over by 8:30. I'm telling you, if that shit start at 7 o'clock, it's gonna be over by 8:30. You ain't got no long fights. The only long fight is the main event. Everything else, no more than 8 rounds.
I can't find it. Words. I won't say.
That's dumb as shit.
Yeah, that undercard right there, me. That Elmo Cordell John a banger, right? The main event a banger, and Keyshawn on there, but he ain't fighting nobody we know. You know what I mean? Keyshawn ain't fighting nobody we know. They just really
You
me.
know,
Cordell, Elmo, that Cordell book and Elmo John should have been the co-main. It should have been.
you know why Bob did that, right? You know why Bob did that?
Why he did what?
Why he put those fights on the Shakur Stevenson Oscar Valdez fight?
Why?
He didn't want Shakur Stevenson to get too much exposure. You gotta think about, besides Keyshawn Davis and Nicolo Ali, who else is a big name on that fight? And they not even big names, but they upcoming stars that people's keeping an eye on. Who else is a big name on that fight?
Nobody. What I'm saying is they jump me. We know about Elmo and Cordell Booker, but I'm saying they jump me. You know what I mean? DP was
That's
good.
on DAZN though.
Damn, sure is. Yeah, that ESPN jump extra me.
I mean, you got Troy
DAZN
Isley.
really
He's an upcoming star. He's an upcoming star that don't too many people know about.
Yeah, he's a prospect.
Yeah, he an upcoming star that don't too many people know about. You got Nico Ali is an upcoming star. I mean, his skills is limited. And then you got Keyshawn Davis, who's an upcoming star that don't too many people know about, but the people that's in boxing, they know who Keyshawn Davis is. He ain't got no stars on there, except for Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. He ain't trying to bring too many eyes to Shakur Stevenson. But what Bob should be doing, he should be making Shakur Stevenson his next Bud Crawford. That's what he should be doing.
Yeah.
When Ramadan over. Okay, see.
If he's smart.
Oh.
If he's smart.
He said, that's my video of Booker and Ammo. Just you about to do a video on Booker and Ammo.
Yeah, that jump right there, man. I know that. I need to.
That's gonna be a good ass fight though.
Yeah, I know it is.
And that's a fight that should have been on ESPN. That's a fight that should have been on ESPN, but neither one of them are signed with
them 4 DAZN fights right there.
Yes.
Elmo versus Booker, Frank Chong versus Cedarus, the Lynn Williams versus Jesse Vargas, and the Katie Taylor versus Serrano. That card like sleep deep. That card like low key, like a banger. Low key, like.
That's what I'm saying. They put on a card that's worth watching. They put on a card that's worth watching. Except for Troy Isley and Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, who else are you really watching? I mean, people might tune in to watch Nico Ali to see if he gets knocked out, but ain't nobody really watching that card like that.
That might really put Nico on Shakur shot. We should have saw that coming though.
He could have at least put another star on there. He got another star he could have put on that card.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I saw Nico fight in person in Atlanta. Sorry. If I ain't mistaken, I think he did fight there. I forgot about it because I wanted to, but I think that boy was on that card. I know I saw Troy on there. I saw Troy fight in person. And
he got more fighters that he could have put on that damn card. That would have made that card better.
In fact, I did see Nico fight in person. And Evan Holyfield. The May 21st, Jameer Herring versus undefeated Jermaine Ortiz. Okay, where you see that, John there, Alex? Okay, Alex. Okay, that's the ESPN fight. What kind of fight that is? Who put that fight on?
Where that's at?
That's the ESPN fight. Right. So Herring fight somebody undefeated. What day? What day you say? May 21st. On what card? May 21st. That's Charlo date.
No, Charlo is May 14th. That's a week after.
Okay, yeah. Oh, hell yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, we finally got this. April. I had said on the earlier video, dog. April been the best month of fights we had as a collection in the men's at top rank. Okay, bet top rank. Yeah, I was trying to see what fight this, so it's a top rank fight. When you look at Erickson Lubin versus Fundora, Earl versus Ugas, and then you add Shakur versus Valdez and Katie Taylor Serrano in 1 month. That was a fight-ass month to fight. You know what I mean? That's a fight-ass month to fight for April. Everybody chose April for a reason. They got to come with it now because they just spoiled us. How you give us an April like this? And actually May too, because when you factor in, we got Boots and Jamel, we got Canelo. You know what I mean? They got to keep this shit rolling. They can't just. They can't just be giving us no mid after giving us an April like this. And then you come in, you got the Undisputed in May. You got Canelo versus Bivol. If I'm mistaken, you got Joe Smith versus Baturviev in June, man. Or in May. I think they jumped in May as well, type shit. Or early June or something like that. So we got some fights. We didn't this April like been the month of big fights, goddamn. And this jump just finna end. This Shakur Valdez just finna end the month of the best month of fights that I didn't seen in a minute, goddamn, that we didn't had in a minute. As far as 1 month. You know what I mean? We get 2 undisputed on the same day. We get a unification and we get unification. We get 2 undisputed, right, and a unification on the same day, along with Earl Spence unification and Fundora Lubin, which damn near go be fight of the year, which might be fight of the year. You know what I mean? This just could move up to 135 if he beats Valdez. I think he got 2 belts. Why not gonna get the other 2? But if he move up, I ain't gonna be tripping on it. But I say gonna get the other 2 belts. Why not? Think about it like this: if he move up, he still gonna have to wait before he get him a shot at any of the belts, right? Cambosis and Devin Haney got the belts tied up. So in the meantime, why not go and get you an undisputed in the meantime? And about time they finish telling they business, you'll have undisputed, and you can fight they undisputed. It'll be undisputed versus undisputed. Right. That increase the bag. That increase the bag. Right. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, I don't see what's the hurry for him to move up. I don't see what's the hurry for a guy like him to move up. Dwayne,
No, he shouldn't move up. He should. What's up?
You going live at 1:30?
Yeah, I'm going live.
Okay.
In 9 minutes, I'll be live.
Yeah, but we got 9 minutes before we go live, and I need 9 subscribers to hit 2K.
Yeah. Shakur Stevenson shouldn't move up. He should try to get the other 2 scraps at 130.
Yeah.
And then move up.
If he do that, everything will work itself out. Everything will work itself out. Yeah.
Because by then, I mean, Devin Haney would have had the undisputed fight at least twice, because I figured he gonna beat the first one. He would have the undisputed fight at least twice, and then, I mean, I think he's gonna go to 140 after he has those 2 fights for undisputed. Unless Bob try to make him fight Lomachenko in that 3rd fight.
Yeah, but I think he should stay where he is. What's good, St. Louis? Appreciate you sliding through this in St. Louis. Glad you can make it. I think he should stay where he at. I think he should stay where he at for right now anyway. It just make more sense. You get yours on this.
You doing that, St. Louis?
You move up to 35, you just gonna put like you finna get 2 straps, go and get the other 2. That's 2 fights. Devin got this fight in the rematch. And maybe a 3rd fight. You know what I mean? The 3rd fight could be you, but you at least got 2 fights left, right? So go and get you 2 more fights. There's 2 belts and 2 fights. Have it work out. And if you got 3 fights, then you really should go you're undisputed. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think he should move up. But if you do move up, I ain't gonna be mad at him, but I don't think you should. If I'm his team, I'm not moving him up right now. Unless he just can't make the weight. I ain't moving him up right now. I was learning earlier that he is going up to 135 quick, but now with how shit turning out, I think he might stay. Like when he first went up to 130, I was hearing he ain't gonna be there long. And now with how shit turning out, I think he might stay. I'm stay live until
Hey, I just realized three of the 4 fights that I said I wanted to happen this year is happening. The Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence, Cambosa and Devin Haney, Oscar Valdez, and Shakur Stevenson. The last fight that I wanted to happen this year was Tank Davis and Gary Russell. So 3 of the 4 fights that I wanted to happen this year is happening before this year is out. Because Devin Haney fight June 5th, Shakur fight this weekend, and Bud Crawford and them, they still trying to find a date for that fight to happen.
I think they going. I think they might announce Earl Spence, Bud, and Jamel fight. How y'all feel about that one? How you feel about that one? I think officially that's when that junk gonna get announced. They working on something. They working on something over there. They working on something over there. Crap, in 20. Get that away. That'll work, man. But y'all, I'm finna go in this joint. Y'all head over to D Free. I'm gonna do a Robin the book in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm head over to D Free.
I'm about to go over there and set up now.
Okay, bet.
All right.
All right, man. I'm gonna slide over there. But yeah, I got Shakur by unanimous decision. You know what I mean? This fight versus Valdez. Make sure y'all tune in to all of the fights, this weekend for real. We got, the zone top rank, they got some, bangers this week. I got to check to see what the hell Showtime do. I don't know if they're doing something this weekend. I really don't. But make sure y'all tune in, though, because, the zone jump, we got two undisputeds. We got two undisputed on the zone jump. We got Shakur Stevenson for unification all this weekend. She gonna be a banger. We got to fight Leonard Smith versus Jason Vargas, which I think gonna be pretty good. You know what I mean? We got a lot of good boxing this weekend. April or the close out of month of April, they've been a banger myself. But again, I got Shakur Stevenson, unanimous decision. I'm finna get it out of here. Make sure y'all head over to Dwayne Freeman. Make sure y'all head over to Boxing Matchups with Dwayne Freeman. It's getting harder way 17. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking.